Good evening. My name is Adam Arwood. They call me the Zotmeister. Welcome to episode 19 of Throwback Thursday. Oh man, here we are. We are once again going to do a mystery theme night. Every game that I am going to play tonight, I have determined my list in advance, or at least among a category. They will all have a common theme. Your objective, welcome to your doom! Yes, there will be a common thread to all of these games that I am going to play tonight. And your objective, if you are so inclined, is to try to figure out what that is. I will, of course, reveal it at the end. But if you can guess what it is in advance, then I can reward you with bennies. Anbu Lion, hello, good to see you here. Yes, and I did say hello to Jesendar and the Box Ghost Beware before I signed on. So here's how this is going to work. Although I've got the chat rules, as it were, up there. Yes, who is Benny? Yes. Back in my day, we didn't have bennies. Just slaps. Slaps, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was glorious. Yes. Yeah, and no sign of the Jets, either. Just Benny as in generic attaboy. A lot of Twitch channels have a currency of some kind. Now, Twitch 22 calls it Club Cash, Tuesday Gray calls it Cake. I've seen all sorts of terms for that. And usually you accumulate it just by sitting in their chat room. And it's nice that they don't distinguish between, being active in chat and lurking, but they usually have these stupid mini-games going on. And it's like, some channels just seem to go overboard on it, and it's like, does anybody actually present in this chat even watch the streamer? And I came to the decision that all that sort of thing was stupid, so I wasn't going to have that. It's trivial enough to set up a bot to take care of that. I just don't think that's fun or interesting. And I would rather engage the audience a bit more, so when I have, like, a trivia question or something to challenge people with, it's like, I'll give you bennies if you get it right. And believe it or not, I do actually keep track of these things as I announce them, these numbers that I spit out. I do actually write down the tag and how many bennies they've earned. I'm keeping track of it all by hand. And I debuted this with the last time I did a mystery theme during one of these Throwback Thursdays, which was actually, because I have my cheat sheet here in front of me, and I need it, that was actually way back in episode 7. And since I have skipped 3 weeks at this point, that was actually, that was 14 weeks ago, if my math is correct. So, it has definitely been a while since I've done a mystery theme, but I'm going to follow the same rules that I did last time. The idea is simple enough. Whisper to me, because I am not blocking whispers from anybody. Please don't let word on that get around. That is the reason I normally, when I have my chat up on stream, I'm actually capturing it off of my own chat window, which is why you'll see messages like, hosts or whatnot pop up on there. If somebody whispers me, it will usually show up on stream. But I am suppressing that, as you can see. Yes, Jesendar, indeed you did. As a matter of fact, I can tell you that you were the second person who guessed it. You got it on your second guess, and you got it during the 9th game of the night. You got exactly 2,045 bennies for your correct guess. I came up with the formula after the fact. But yes, that was how that came to be. I love how you come up with these things, Ombu Lion. I love how you do that. At any rate, yeah, because that theme was given to me by a viewer, I gave them an honorarium. I actually gave them 5,000 bennies. Everybody else was essentially competing to see if they could guess the theme. And it turns out that nobody got it soon enough to be able to get more than the honorarium was, but the option was there. I won't bore you with the number unless you want to actually hear it later, but suffice it to say that the sooner you get it in the night, the more bennies it's going to be worth if you get it correct. As every game goes by, there will be a draining of how many bennies it's worth. Every person who actually gets it, there will be another small drain for others, so that there will be an ordering, a tiering, as it were. If two people get it on the same game, whoever got it in there first will end up getting slightly more. You can guess. I don't have a strict limit in mind, but probably if it's taken you, say, more than 5 guesses, forget it. I don't want to say 3 strikes you're out. I'm probably going to make it more like 5. But here's the thing. Every time you whisper a guess to me and it is wrong, your own personal prize, should you happen to get it correct later, will be cut in half each time. So, guess incorrectly twice, you're only going to get a quarter of the bennies. Guessing correct 3 times, it's going to be an eighth, and so on. So, you may want to wait until you are absolutely certain that your guess is right before you make it. You're going to be penalized a lot more for a wrong answer than you will be for waiting a game or two before you give it. But with that said, the sooner you give it to me, the more it is going to be worth, so make the decision on your own. You can keep your bennies anywhere you want. As far as what to actually do with those bennies, I am, in the very near future, probably going to start having giveaways of some kind. At this time, the only thing I really have to offer are random Steam keys for games that I've been accumulating via Humble Bundles that I have no need to use myself. So I can pass those on, and I will allow players to spend their bennies to get extra raffle tickets, essentially, on that. That's what I have in mind, anyway. I may come up with other ideas. But yeah, you don't get bennies just sitting there, not paying attention. You do actually have to earn them in my channel, but you will get them in good chunks. And I will try to remember to offer more things like trivia questions, little random things to get more of them. But yes, tonight you can get a nice big chunk. If you get it on your first guess during the first game before anybody else, you'll get 10,000 bennies right off the bat. That's going to be enough for 20 raffle tickets by what I have in my head, so that would be a very, very strong... It's like, oh, you want that game? Yeah, you can really improve your odds there. So that is totally a thing. I have talked enough about this. We should get it going. I am going to give you a couple real ground rules, which I have not squeezed into that white area, but I might do at some point in the future. The first is that there is absolutely nothing subjective as regards the rule. It's not going to be something like, these are all games that I think stink or that I think are awesome. It's not going to be a matter of opinion. It is going to be some fact about the game. If somebody makes a facetious guess that goes against that, I'm going to be like, yeah, no, that guess doesn't count. I'm not going to count that as your strike. Do not guess visibly in chat to everybody. Not even as a joke. I will penalize you for that. And by penalize, I mean you're done for the night. I am going to give you a swift boot out of here. Because whether you're right or not, that is still something that I feel is not fair. That's still something that is not pleasant. No one else there should have to see it. It will spoil the fun. I do know how to ban people. I can unban you after the night, but yeah, I'm not gonna beat around the bush with that. That's gonna get you a swift kick out of here. So just don't do it. Just don't. Whisper me. Whisper me instead. Actually, we should do a quick little test. If any subset of you would like to whisper me at this time, just the word yes or something would suffice. That I would appreciate that, just to make sure that my channel settings are all correct at this time. Because it actually has been a while, and there was one person who, well, one or two people who were horrendously whisper spamming me at one point, and I might have done something about that at a time, and then forgot about that, and let me see if I've, where's the, seem to find the, I know there's a setting for this. Oh, okay. Yeah, I found the setting, and it should still be right. Under security and privacy, all things. Okay, okay, test confirmed. It is working. My apologies to everyone for the delay there. Okay, I am going to say one thing up front here. The platform for every game that I'm going to play is going to be the same. That is not the theme. At least that's not entirely the theme. Last time I did this, every game was an arcade game. And I actually did give a little extra hint regarding that. I did say it could have been other games that I had played, but yeah, as it happened, they all ended up being arcade games. And I said that that was not part of the theme. Yes, yes. I have 3 successful tests that have gone through. Good to know, Ambu Lion. Your secret is safe with me. Okay. Every game that I'm going to play tonight is an NES game. So, yeah, if somebody were to guess, oh, they're all NES games, well, you are correct, but that's not the theme. That is not sufficient. You need to be a little more specific than that. I am limiting myself to NES games tonight. I could theoretically make the theme more generic than that, and there'd be a very long list of things that I could play, but tonight I am specifically doing only NES games. So you are looking for a common theme a little tighter than that. Okay, with that in place, and I'm probably going to have to repeat that multiple times during the night as more people finally show up. Let me get things properly started here with, oh, I don't know. Where did I hide that list? Here it is. Oh my word, this is a This is a long list that I am looking at here. A very long list. I'm going to try to do the games in an order that makes it perhaps a little less than clear. I want to try to do them in such an order that the theme is most obscured by it. The games that are more likely to give the theme away, the ones to be more likely to bring the theme to mind, will be played later on. This sort of better balance for the competition as a whole. And with that in mind, I believe I am going to get things started. Yeah, that should be a fun little one to start with. Let's take that approach. Yeah, that's what I tried to do last time. I tried to do the games in an order that makes the theme as obscure as possible in order to make the make this little guessing game more fun to play. At least in theory. That's the hope. Okay. Other than that, there is not going to be any particular order to the games that I play. Although I've already decided in my head which one is going to be last. There's actually a sort of this is a little sort of interesting surprise I have set up for that. Okay, so let's try starting with this one. I actually don't even know if it's going to come up here or not, but about to find out. About to find out the hard way. Alright. Yes, alright. Just making sure it's showing and everything. Hopefully I'm not going to have a major, Oh no. Let's see. Good old Marble Madness. I will be transitioning between games a little slower than usual tonight. I do apologize for that in advance, but that is sort of part and parcel of the process here. Oops, what did I just do? That was just showing me the year, too, wasn't it? Will that show up again if I fast forward? $1984 is, I suppose, all I really need to see there, right? Yeah. Okay. Let us do this. This is indeed a port of an arcade game, which you may remember. The arcade original has a trackball. Rollin', 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 what? Keep rollin'. I always like the music in this game. Whoops. A little ahead of myself there. That's okay. Time doesn't really... Oh, come on, really? Time doesn't really carry forward from this maze to the later ones anyway. Yeah, you simply control the marble, rolling it along these isometric paths here. Ugh! Here we go. Got a big jump going. What? Huh. Just get it to the goal within time. Now that first stage you get a nice little bonus if you can make one of those jumps to the edge there. From this point on, the time I have left at the end of a stage gets added into the next one, so I'm wanting to get through things as quickly as possible. Oops, I was a little too far to fall. Oh, in that case, I'll just take the tunnel. Oh, really? Damn. The physics are almost a little too accurate to the arcade game, but the fact that you're using a D-pad and an accelerator button... Oh, damn. There we go. Rather than a trackball, definitely changes the experience. Thankfully, it's really no less playable. This was, of course, an Atari game in the arcade. But the NES release here was published by Milton Bradley, of all companies. Oh, ah! Not good. There we go. Dull. I have a very sensitive D-pad, and that's kind of working both for and against me here. There we go. Let's get it to the bottom. The aerial race. Lots of fall-offs here. This is where things get tough. Okay. Vacuums! No! Dirty pool! Oh, dizzy marble there. Okay, come on. Alright. Oh, that was terrible. I cannot answer that question. It's a mystery theme night. I'm not going to say what games I'm playing in advance. Ugh. Okay, oops. Damn. Yeah, there's a pattern to the hammers. It doesn't look like it, though. It kind of goes through several different patterns. There we go. Everything you know is wrong. This is the silly race, where gravity is reversed. You go up this maze. Just enough to mess with you. The enemies are all really tiny, you can crush them, and you even get extra time for it. I don't know if it's worth it to try to... that is not working. I should not have tried to do that. I just totally... What the... Alright. Bloody hell. As far as I know, it's random which side it spits you up on there. Right. Ugh. It's like, Come on. What? I don't know why it just gave me bonus time there. Oh, okay, there we go. What the devil? There we go. Alright. Oh! Yeesh. Okay. Ultimate race. This is the last one. I don't have much time to get it done in, but I will try my best. Come on. Even it's been a while since I've played this. This actually hasn't been so bad. Ugh. I'm doing very poorly, as you can tell. I did still make it to the final race, though. Oh. That is an acid pool. The marble would dissolve in it if I were to try to... Ooh. Tough to turn on the, Oh, no. Oh! I'm so dead right now! Yeah, I'm stuck. Slowly drifting across. That's game. That's game. Put your initials in at the start, so it goes straight to the end there. Alright. Marble Madness for the NES. These are all for the NES. Part 1. Marble Madness. Okay. All gonna, yeah. Good to know. Yes, that is correct. Once you hit the ice, you basically don't control the marble. At that point, it's whatever momentum you hit the ice with, yeah, it's gonna keep that until it makes it across. So yeah, when I just barely crept onto the ice after that respawn, yeah, that was literally nothing I could do but watch the timer tick down there. Kinda mucked that up, been a little while. Under most circumstances, I would probably play that game again. However, I've got quite the list I would rather get through. So I am not going to let myself get distracted by that. I am instead going to move on to another title. Now, it is not common at all that you will find me play a sports game, but as it would happen, tonight you're going to see a few, quite possibly. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to give you one right now. This is one of Nintendo's own. Okay, you know what? I'm going to, just in case somebody wants to make a guess, while it's still the first game, I'm going to give them a moment before I reveal the next one. I will give you maybe like 30 seconds or so, and then I will get to the next game here. I am a poor sports game player. I am not a poor sport. I most definitely am a game player, but not a poor game player, I should think. Okay, I think that has been long enough. So, officially going to Game 2. Oh, can you write down notes in chat? Well, obviously if you speculate in chat, you're only going to be penalizing yourself. You would probably prefer to get a piece of paper out, but... Magnuson Device, good to see you here. Alright, excellent. Yes, okay, Marble Madness was Game 1, and Game 2 is... Oops, that is not an O. There we go. One of Nintendo's own. One of their earlier titles. Here we have ourselves a cute little skiing racing game. Nothing terribly advanced. But it's kind of fun. The animation that they use for the skiing path is actually nice and simple. It's simply time-based, whether you make it through a track or not. The flags you don't technically have to go through, but your speed is decreased if you miss a set of gates, as apparently the snow is, you know, not so packed in. It's rougher. You are encouraged to try to drive through them. Of course, you don't want to actually hit the flags because they'll send you tumbling. As will a lot of other things on the track, although the flags will never cause you to plant your face in the snow. And other things can, and that really hurts because then you're at a dead stop. Those little snow mounds, or moguls as they're called, those are a little different, and as you leap off of those, you can actually try to perform a trick. Do a little freestyle action. As long as you end it before you land your golden, and you will get some extra... what do you call it? Get some extra points for, you get a solo bonus. The time you have left over at the end of a run, plus your freestyle points, equals for your next stage how many seconds you've got to play until other skiers show up on the track. That's why they call it a solo bonus. You're buying yourself time without having to worry about other racers you need to dodge. Well, that's part of what I do on a Throwback Thursdays. I always say things about the games. Always do. 3 difficulty levels: Snowy Hill, Steep Peak, and Mount Nasty. And given my level of expertise at this game, yeah, I'm playing Snowy Hill. I'll be lucky if I make it past the 3rd track. Okay. Up and down will control your acceleration and deceleration. Ooh. There we go. A little bit of freestyling, and I am bouncing like a pinball off of those guys. There we are. I'm not hitting the moguls straight either. There we go. The first stage is always called qualifying run, no matter what track you're on. Oh, okay, we're good. We're good! We're good. There we go. I've got a long time on this one before I have to worry about other skiers being an issue. I love the little, like, musical themes and whatnot that this game uses for sound effects. Oh. Outside the gates there. Yeah, I believe the manual called it snow plowing. You feel it. You can feel it and hear it. It's tough to see, but it's just like, it's like, whoa. Just sudden deceleration for missing the gate. Oh, yeah, it's like that. You can actually see it in the bottom of the skis. Without trying, I'm sure you'll see it more times. Yep, there. Yeah, it's like he automatically puts the brakes on and you have no control over that. Ah! We've got... Yeah, my grace period has ended. I'm now seeing other skaters. Oh. Oh. Whoa. Very, very slippy. You've got to be very careful with how much time you spend turning left or right, because you very much accelerate sideways the longer you're turning. Nearly at the exit. There we go. Exit? Clearing gate there. Okay. Oh! Ugh. Yeah, those slitters that move back and forth. Ugh. Yeah, it's like they have it out for you. I bet I've gotten comboed by them before. It's like one will send me spinning just enough so that the other further one down the line will be there just as I get up. Game is actually pretty brutal. Oof. Alright, no. It seems to be pretty random whether you get put into the snow or not. Hitting something other than a flag. I don't have high hopes from finishing Skid Row here. Oh yeah, I only got 15 seconds left, and I've still got way too much distance to go. Below the name of the track at the top center, the little glowing hourglass-shaped thing tells me how close I am to the end. Yep, that's time. Yeah, this game simply keeps track of times for individual stages. Of course, the better you do on an earlier one, the easier later ones will be, due to the way the solo bonus works. But otherwise, yeah, they don't attach to one another, it's just straight up completion times. Yeah, I'm sure things get even nastier than that on later stages. I have very little experience playing this game. This is one other little curious tidbit that I would say about this game is that its arcade version, the Versus hardware release of the game, actually came out first. So much so that the copyright date on it is a year earlier. That's usually the Versus system games are essentially like, you know, NES games, but taken to actually you can see on the title screen there it does say 1986, but this game wasn't actually released until 87 for the home consoles. But yeah, the Versus system, the arcade version, which is essentially usually an NES game made to an arcade standard. Yeah, that actually came out a year earlier. So, interesting little tidbit I can share with you there. So I will give you a minute or two. As a reminder, the first game I played was Marble Madness, the second one is Slalom. Again, these are all going to be NES games that I am playing. That is not sufficient to guess the theme with. I will give it maybe half a minute if somebody wants to get the guess whispered to me. They can, if they're willing to make that stab. You can imagine the Jeopardy theme playing in your head, if you wish. Playing in my head, I don't know if it's playing in anyone else's. Okay. So it looks like it is time for me to start the third game. I have received a first guess, and it is an excellent guess. I love it. And it definitely works with both of the games that I have already played. Unfortunately, it's wrong. I'm sorry. Excellent guess, though. Excellent guess. I feel compelled to follow the rules. I would love to not penalize you for that guess, but I'm afraid that yeah, that is in fact wrong. As a matter of fact, I actually apologize for this in advance. Yeah, remember when I said Jeopardy? Well, I was actually giving you a stealth hint. Because that's totally the next game I'm playing. Surprise! You don't have to imagine it now. It's playing. It's playing for you. This is Jeopardy! And here's your host, Alex Throwback. GameTech made quite a few versions of home games, of game shows back in the day, and this is one of them. I've got the year right. No, I don't actually. Not for its year of publication, anyway. 88. Here we go. So, this is going to be embarrassing. Yeah, I'm afraid. I can. If the people who made the guess don't mind, then I don't mind. When it's all said and done at the end of the night, feel free to reveal what your guesses were. But yes, do not do that in advance. Someone might be thinking, or could have been thinking, the same thing along the same lines, and having gotten confirmation that it's wrong would spoil things. Whether that is something that could apply to this particular guess or not, I'm not going to say, but that is something that could theoretically be the case. And as such, yeah, that is something that I cannot allow. That would be cheating. So, this will probably be incredibly embarrassing. I do not consider myself good at trivia, like, at all. I am apparently a pretty smart person as far as, like, IQ kind of deals go, but, when it comes to actual, like, trivia, like, much of what you would see on a game show and whatnot, usually the sort of things that they ask tend to not jive with the sort of things that I know in my head. So, that's kind of an iffy thing, really. Alright, I don't think I can put this off. Let's get it going. It's just me. I'll keep it on easy. Yes, I'm playing against the computer. I'm not gonna make it that cheesy. Where did they get these avatars? Some of them pretty geeky looking. I probably used this guy as a kid, but I think I'm gonna go with the guy with the tie now. That'll work. Beryl and Sandy. Oh no. This is the old Jeopardy values cut in half. South America, winter sports, theater, 3-letter names in the garden, and what's new, pussycat? Whoa, I'm sorry, don't know what came over me. I don't like any of these. At all. Let me try to build up some money, though, before I actually get to categories I like. Just make more of a daily double if I find it. So let's start with winter sports. 400. Country which hosted the 1984 Winter Olympics. Oh, man. Yugoslavia, I think that's right. Yep. All of these questions are gonna be from the late 80s, so... And the proverb, this sweeps clean. So all of these are going to start with new in the answer, right? New broom. Name for an unopened flower or half of Abbott and Costello. Ah. Ring in! What the? I don't know what happened there. I'm not sure. Did I not have the window active? Easter, water, and lilies. What the? It's on the D-pad? Seriously? That explains it. Okay. The garden for 200. The sled in the movie Citizen Kane. That's Rosebud, of course. Rosebud. Garden for 300. Turkish for turban. These flowers originated in Asia, not Holland. Oh. Little comment at the end gives that away now, doesn't it? Tulips. I'll take swords for 200, Alex. That's S words. Golden poppy is the official state flower of this, the Golden State. In California. Oh, duh! 500. The sides of its blossoms are pressed, two of its lips open like jaws. We're gonna need a bigger boat for this flower. If Snapdragon 64 were here right now, he'd be shaking his head at me. Try theater. It's called the Ford Theater, right? Yeah, okay. Should get that right, I've been there. Let's go through this dumb category. This country invented roller skating as a warm weather substitute for Hans Brinker's sport. Huh. Cover boy of Mad Magazine. Who is Alfred E. Newman? Capital of India? Oh, that's gonna be New Delhi. Let's keep going down here. Bob Eubanks was such an incredible jerk on the Newlywed Game. Such an incredible jerk. How he became such a beloved game show host, I have no idea, because he was a total asshole, if you've ever actually seriously watched the show. A sauce of cream, sherry, butter, and egg yolk, often served on lobster. Ah! That would be Newburgh. These game tech games are usually very forgiving of spelling errors. I don't know precisely what math they use, but if you get a certain percentage of the letters right, they'll give you the answer. Oh, I know what that is, yeah. Before walks a pedestrian violet. Yeah, Jay. That was an easy one, I was just still mid-thought. Olympic sledding event in which participants travel feet forward on their backs. Oh. It's the luge, right? Yeah. Cool Runnings! This ski course is defined by pairs of... Oh! How awesome is that? That the name of the game I just played before this one came up as an answer. Champion trophy of the NHL. Oh, I believe that's the Stanley Cup, right? Maybe I shouldn't have had the difficulty set to easy. Oh, whoa. If for no other reason that when I'm going to get one wrong, the AI would ring in faster just to make the game take over faster. At this point, I'd be happy to see the double jump. There we go, there's the daily double. I'd like to make it a true daily double, Alex! The visible part of an iceberg or former House Speaker O'Neill? What is hip? There we go. The Stanley Cup. Or three-letter name, I don't know if they'd let you have that. That would be Ivy, I do believe. Man, I kind of want to finish out this game, but I really shouldn't. I should just move on to the next one now, given how long this is taken. I got my daily double. Latin for king, it comes before, read, and after Oedipus. That would be Rex. Yeah, I'll do one more question. The Adventures of a Swindling Trombone Salesman named Harold Hill. Oh, what is the music, man? Okay. This river is second in length only to the Nile. I would seem to be in denial. I like how when the AI gets a question wrong, they give you a few letters in it, as if to make you think that it's like, you know, it's like what they say might give you ideas as to what the right answer might actually be. I do think that's a neat little mechanic. I'm glad I waited until at least that much happened. Oh. There is actually an Amazon River, isn't there? Yeah. And I totally got that due to the little extra hints, the letters that they threw in there. Notice that the answers that they gave were not the correct length. But they threw in enough right letters that I was able to mentally put that together. That's a neat little thing that they added in. Yeah, I'm going to quit this game now. Because that is, this is a long, slow game, and I've got more to do on my list. Alright, I will, however, give you... I will reset this so that you can actually hear the Jeopardy theme. And you have until... Quitter. I was way out in the lead, but... Yeah... I have other games to play. I don't want to sit on one too long. Have until the end of your guess here. End of this theme to make your guess. If you want to still guess on credit for it being Game 3. Figure out what the next game I'm going to play is. Okay. Time is up. I am going to move on to another title. A title that is quite possibly going to be like the literal exact opposite of Jeopardy. And this is one that I actually have very little I'm not sure I've ever played this, come to think of it. Worth a try, though, I guess. Worth a try. Let's do this. Next game is... What have I gotten myself into? Bigger, better, badder. This was before they got the F out. Oh, come on, work with me. Lame. Much maligned company from the day. Their games were very, very varied. Okay. At this point, I would like to mention something. I have received a correct guess. Congratulations to the Box Ghost Beware. You are absolutely right. You are the first person to have gotten an answer right. Let's see. Okay. I can do this. So, game 1 for game 2. That's for game 3. Okay. You're on game 4. Yes. Okay. Let me write this down. We have the Box Ghost Beware. The Box Ghost Beware has earned 7,290 bennies. Yes. Snap into a Slim Jim! The late great Randy Macho Man Savage. Okay. Small reduction now. Let me make sure that I get this typed in. It's important that I keep track of this as I go. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. That is, I quoted an incorrect number just then. I need to... I'm forgetting my own rules here. Yes, you do have bennies. It's not that many. Okay. So you have 3,645. There we go. Because there was an incorrect guess earlier. I need to remember to keep track of those more carefully. Okay. I have another guess sitting in front of me. It is incorrect. So I will get on to playing this game here. Okay, let's see. Select number of players. One standard, I guess. Really? $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Bam Bam Bigelow. Honky Tonk Man. Uh-huh. Randy Macho Man Savage. Oh, yeah! Andre the Giant. Hulk Hogan. Nothing else needs to be said about him. I will, of course, play Andre. Let's do this big legendary fight here. Ooh. Come on. Did someone just try to throw up? Oh, that's for me. I just went away. Damn. Oh. Uh-oh. Get up! I am bad at this. I'm bad at most games of this nature, actually. That was extremely short. I'll give that another try. Maybe someone other than Hogan. Probably won't make a difference, though. Suppose what I could do is actually try that same fight from the other direction. I'll play as Hogan against AI Andre. Let's see how that goes. Oh no! I checked the manual before this. I was looking up how to do the I'm having trouble even turning around here. There we go. Ugh. He's got good range on that kick of his. Alright, guess it's more important to try to get out of their way than I'd been doing. Oh, God! It went from 1 to 2 awfully quickly there. Yes, indeed. Street Fighter this very, very much isn't. Oh, well. I think I've played this stinker long enough. Might be more fun against another actual person, but... yeah, not a lot of grappling going on in this one, which is very unusual for a wrestling game in my experience. Oh, well. I will let that sit for about 30 seconds or so, if anyone else would like to make a Game 4 guess, before I dive into the next one. Let me figure out what game that's going to be. Pull it out of the list I'm looking at here. Okay, yeah, that one's happening. I know what game I'm playing. Okay, I see 2 more guesses here. One of them is wrong, and the other is right! Congratulations, Magnuson Device! I am very much accepting that as a correct answer. We have another Benny receiver here. Magnuson device. And that was your first guess, yes? Yes, indeed it was. So, no further penalty there. 6,926 bennies. I realize that those fractional ones probably, yeah, those individual ones really aren't going to add up too much in the long run. But just in case, that is the correct amount of bennies for you to receive. Okay, times 0.95. Okay. I am actually looking at a fractional number on the calculator, but I always round up. Always round it up. Okay, and I need to... I want to make absolutely certain I get this spelled correctly. Excuse me as I write down someone else's handle. I have another guess here. I need to keep track of the wrong one. Okay. Alright, it is time for me to reveal Game 5. For those of you just joining us, I will repeat the game list for mystery theme guessing purposes. These have all been NES games, they're all going to be NES games. So that in and of itself is not the theme. We started with Marble Madness, then moved on to Slalom, then Jeopardy, of all things, and then you can still see WWF WrestleMania running, and now I am going to play as Game 5 tonight. As we go back to Milton Bradley. We are playing Cabal. This is indeed another arcade port. Although the arcade game was not from Atari, it was from a company called CAD. Milton Bradley. Oops. I totally butchered that. I'm typing around my mic stand at the moment. 89? Does my reference... Looks like there's a lot of lag on these games compared to their copyright screens. Yeah, I'm using the years that I see on Wikipedia, actually. So if they are erroneous, blame the hive mind there. But I'm remaining consistent. I'm sticking with the years that I see on my list rather than whatever might be shown in the game itself. Alright, I need to... Man, I am having so many window layering issues tonight. I gotta be really careful with this. Okay. There we go. Make sure I keep this number updated. Alright, this is one of a genre commonly called, like, crosshair shooter, I think you could call it. It's a fun little one that I've spent a good amount of time with. There are actually two versions of the arcade release. One that has been adapted to use a joystick for controls and a button for evasion, but the original arcade release actually uses a trackball, and that is the version I'm more used to seeing. I have actually played it in the arcade with a trackball. You do dodges by rolling the ball quickly diagonally downward. or upward to do like a leaping dive here. And instead, in this game, I'll be using a button with the D-pad for that purpose. And there's a separate grenade button in the arcade. Here, instead, to throw grenades, I tap the button rather than simply hold it in. My weapon is a machine gun. So my objective in each stage is to shoot out a number of enemies. I can move at I move the character and the crosshair at the same time. But if I hold in the fire button, just the crosshair moves. So I can aim at different angles. These buildings can totally be destroyed. Find extra goodies. You bother the bush enough, you can actually get things out of that too. Crosshair's Crosshair's a lot slippier than I would otherwise remember. And once you have shot down enough enemies, that gauge at the bottom fills in, he gets all happy. Yeah, everything else is destroyed, and he runs to the next segment. Yes, Wild Guns, which I've given a Throwback Thursday treatment to before, is essentially a game very much inspired by this one, and its spiritual sequel, Blood Brothers, which has a Western theme. Oh! Alright, am I... Okay, yes, I can dodge. Yes, I am just not. I'm just doing that badly. Oh! Ugh! Hey, Adam, how about showing some sense of self-preservation? You might find it useful. Yeah, you can also run back and forth if you're not firing. Ooh. Yeah, this is a very interesting genre of game. Doesn't seem to get done very often. It is great fun. Also, hi Nintendcade360, good to see you here. And Gaming Trucker, I noticed you commented earlier. I did sort of overlook that for a bit. My apologies. It is good to see you here. Come on. I am... Really? Already? Holy crap! I do better at the arcade version. That was way too short. I'm gonna try that again. You know what? Whatever. That was just pathetic. I wanted to at least beat the first boss. I mean, come on here. Yeah, it's like I didn't dodge a single thing. One of my favorite games of this type is Nom 1975, which you may recall was the very first Neo Geo game. For those of you who have been following me, watching my Throwback Thursdays, you would know this. Ugh, really? Come off it. I'll bet. Yeah, at the end of the stage, anything that was destroyable that you didn't collapses, so if you remember this, it's actually very useful. Later runs of the stage, you can know what to destroy for extra points. Oh! There you go. Oh, I needed to jump there. Yeah, I swear the arcade version of this is actually easier. Not even sure why. I think it's just a... Might have something to do with the controls or the amount of time you have to dodge bullets. Yeah, people don't tend to think video games when they think Milton Bradley, but they actually ended up making some very, very good ones for the NES, I feel. If you destroy these gates that say keep out in the back, enemies will actually stop spawning from behind them. When enemies throw grenades, you can actually shoot them out of the air. Still hiding behind that wall. But yeah, it's not gonna last for much longer. Will you... Yeah, now we have enemies that dodge my shots. The same way that I could dodge theirs, but haven't been because I'm terrible. Ugh! Note that you actually do have temporary invulnerability when you roll. You can roll straight through a bullet. As a matter of fact, in the arcade, when you do, you see a small amount of blood appear near the character. Or am I thinking of Nom 1975? Well, I know it definitely happens in 1975. Oh! But yeah, you don't actually take any damage. It is definitely one-hit kills. Yeah, removing keep out signs causes the enemies to keep out, yeah. That was also absolutely terrible, but I've already played that twice, and I am not going to suffer through another run of that. I feel like I'm going to have to redeem myself later on. Somebody request this game tomorrow. So that I can, this may actually end up being what I play first, to, while I'm waiting for people to make requests, or someone can request it. I am not happy with that, at all. I absolutely positively need to keep moving on. That was embarrassing. That was really embarrassing. That was terrible. My word. Yeah, I feel like I should... I really enjoy the game, and I've done a lot better at it than that, and that was just... That was pathetic. I am not happy with my performance there at all. I feel the need to redeem myself, but unfortunately, I don't have the time to do that right now. I need to move on to another game, which I will do in just a few moments, just in case somebody wants to make a guess now. And while it is still game number 5, let me see if I missed someone else making a guess. In fact, I did. And it is a correct guess! Nintendo 360, congratulations, you are absolutely right. Oops, that is a capital C. You have guessed correctly. And that was your first guess. You have just earned 5,922 bennies. Yay. I am running on a sleep deficit. That is actually very, very true. That is very true. I shall have to redeem myself at a later time when that is not the case. Okay. Let's adjust the numbers. Alright, I'll give it just another moment. Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? 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 Okay, moving on. Adjusting the prize value. And loading up. Yeah. That sounds like a There's one game in particular, I think I want to do it as the first game after the break. I think I'm going to save it for a specific moment, as it were. Why am I having trouble finding... Ugh. Alright, you know what? I'm going to get this horrendous, pathetic, stupid... This game should not exist. This may quite possibly be the single worst game on the NES at all. Ever! Ugh. So I will not be playing this one for long. But I feel compelled to. I have played this before. It was on request on a Friday night, and I was like, oh, wow, my word. Holy crap, this might be the worst NES game ever made. My opinion of this has not changed. Well, here it is. Bloody thing. A lot of LJN's games aren't very good. This one really takes the cake. Holy crap, this game's bad. And my list says this game is from 1991. Yeah, I will not be playing this for long because no human being can. And still retain their sanity. It's showtime! Whatever. So you have this incredibly short-range ground stomp and a massive jump thing going. You really only stun the enemies there. Look at that! Straight through the floor. Does that look like a wall to you? Looks like a wall to me. Ah, Buff Muffin, yes. Hello. Well, you want to know what, Buff Muffin? I gotta say this much. Oh. Killed by a heat lamp. Apparently. In a very gruesome manner, no less. What the? Bouncing off the torch. Yes! The candles on the wall will kill you. You know, I probably would rather play Action 52 than this, to be completely honest with you. Oh man, this ain't a good day for me. First I lose my true love, then I don't make it to ghoul heaven. Worst of all, those Dietzes are still on the loose. Maybe I can con those sucker Maitlands into letting me try again. No. No! I don't care that I played that for such a tiny, tiny amount of time. No! Abso-fucking-lutely not. That will probably be my one and only F-bomb tonight. Live with it. We will all have to live in fear of this game. As a matter of fact, I am closing it. So that we don't have to look or hear it. Yeah, we don't have to look at it or hear it any further. I sincerely apologize. But yeah, after the series of games that I had played, it had to be included, as otherwise I would not be doing this theme the proper justice. That had to happen. Shame on them! Shame on them. They fail. They fail! Miserably! Yes, Precision F Strike. I try. I absolutely try. Alright. I apologize for the black screen, but believe me, it's better than the alternative. I will have to take your word for that, DBZ, because I refuse to continue to play that game any further. I'm not going that far. I made it further the last time I played it. I don't care. I don't care. I'm getting out while the getting's good. I am not playing that again. Screw that game. Let's see. Looks like I've got about 15 minutes before break time. Whatever I play next should be something relatively short. Oh, I know what I know what it'll be. And it will be almost certainly something very, very short to take a look at, actually. It probably won't be terribly entertaining, but I do feel compelled to squeeze this one in. It will probably be the one and only time I play a game of this nature on stream, so enjoy it while it lasts. I'm not going to say it's a good or a bad game. I actually don't know. I have no idea. I haven't fired it up before, but it needs to happen. It definitely needs to happen. Yes, Quarth is the Japanese name for block hole. Yes, and its home versions, even in the US, have that title. I know there's a Game Boy version of Quarth. I don't know if there's an NES one or not. I honestly don't recall. Yeah, that is good. That is a good fun game. Okay, that, I believe, has been long enough. I did receive another guess. It is wrong. So I will mark that down as such. Okay, and, let us get... I am seriously about to load this game up, aren't I? I suppose I am. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, we have had 3 correct... For those who want to keep track of stats, we have so far had 3 correct guesses and 4 incorrect guesses. Yes, I'm making it a point to not say that anybody in particular made an incorrect guess, unless they themselves came out and said that they did. Unless it's a really, really awesome guess, and I feel like they should get credit for it. Yeah, yeah, if you out yourself as having guessed incorrectly, then, well, of course I'll say that. But yeah, if you get it right, I'm totally giving you a shout-out. High-tech expressions. This game has been brought to you by the letter B, by the number 3. Man, I'm really playing this. Yep, I'm really playing this. I have no idea what's in store for me here, but I'm sure it's going to be fairly straightforward. If I can't play this game well, there's something wrong with me. Oh, the lyrics are scrolling across the top. That's a nice touch. And that is the correct year, I do believe. Yes, it is. Astro Grover, Ernie's Magic Shapes, Let Her Go Round, Ernie's Big Splash. Oops. My windows. All over the place. Totally over the place. Yeah, this is a very good rendition of the theme. Well, a game called Astro Grover, I totally have to take a look at that. Yes, it's Super Grover! Astro Grover. But who is the monster at the end of the book, though? How many zips? Beam that number. Adding countdown. Take it away, zips. Sum up, sum down. I have to play something called Beam That Number. That sounds like fun. That is 8. There we go. And it counts down. You can learn your numbers. Grover looks like he's wearing shades for that moment there. That is 4. No, it isn't. That is 3. That is 0. There we go. I'm having flashbacks to when I did Pew 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 2, episode 12, and I was actually taking requests that night, and someone suggested I play Math Blaster. There we go. At this point, I actually kind of want to finish up the game, see what happens when it makes it all the way up. We're grabbing 5 now. It can't take that long to finish, right? And then I'll go back to the main menu, try a different option there, probably something letter-based. That's 5. Yeah, I mean, this isn't exactly a challenge for me right now, but at this point, yeah. Oh, look, I guess it's done now. There we go. Oops. Oh, yeah, I'll just hit reset. It's tempting to leave the Sesame Street theme running during my break time, but I won't. I won't. Let her go round. Uppercase matching, lowercase matching, mixed case matching. One little word. What's missing? Spell this. Oh, that sounds like fun. Let's do spell the secret word. Okay. Am I looking for a 6-letter anagram? I've only got one. Only one vowel there. It is going to add more letters as I go. Okay. So it's only going to be a 3-letter word? Yeah. This, there we go. It seems to be just a guessing game, so, yeah. Yeah, that one wasn't fun. I have trouble picturing Big Bird fitting in that tent gap. Without ducking. Just saying. Alright. Well, I think I am going to be taking my break time at this time.